Man's true delight is to do the things he was made for. Imagine a life where you move in sync with the rhythms of the universe, where every decision you make aligns with your inner nature and the greater order of things. Sounds like a peaceful existence, doesn't it? But here's the real question. How often do you feel truly connected with yourself and the world around you? Men, let's cut through the chaos. In a world that constantly pulls us away from what truly matters, we're here to talk about something revolutionary: living in harmony with nature. You might be thinking, easy to say, hard to do, and you're right, it's not easy. But neither is fighting against the very nature of who you are or denying your place in the grand scheme of things. Think about it. How often do we waste energy every day trying to control what's beyond us? How often do we resist the flow of life, acting against our true nature, trying to bend the world to our will? It's exhausting, isn't it? And what's worse, it robs us of the serenity that comes from understanding our place in the universe. The Stoics, those ancient masters of philosophy, figured this out centuries ago. Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome, said, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." In other words, there is a natural order to things, and our power lies not in resisting it, but in understanding and embracing it. This isn't just Stoicism. This idea of harmony runs deep through many great philosophies across time. From the Stoics in ancient Rome to modern thinkers, this truth echoes throughout history. Living in accordance with nature is the key to a fulfilling life. But today, we're going to dive deep into what it means to live in harmony with nature. We'll explore why it's not just philosophical fluff, but a practical, powerful way to live. We'll look at what's holding us back, how to break free, and how to align ourselves with the natural order. Are you ready to stop resisting and start flowing, to trade in your constant struggle against life, or a peaceful coexistence with it? As Marcus Aurelius also said, look within. Within is the fountain of good, and it will ever bubble up if you will ever dig. The Stoic perspective. Let's dive into the wisdom of the Stoics, men who lived centuries ago, but whose words still ring true today. First up, Epictetus. Born into slavery, he became one of the most influential philosophers of his time. He said, "Man is not worried by real problems so much as by his imagined anxieties about real problems." Think about that in the context of living in harmony with nature. How often do we let our anxieties, our need to control everything, disrupt the natural flow of our lives? The average man tries to bend the world to his will, stressing over every little thing. The Stoic, he knows his power lies not in controlling the uncontrollable, but in managing his reaction. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, also emphasized this idea in his personal journal, later published as Meditations. He wrote, "Nature which governs the whole will soon change all things you see, and out of their substance will make other things, and again others from the substance of them, in order that the world may be ever new." It's about perspective. Nature is in a constant state of change, and so are we. Trying to fight against this is not only futile, it's counterproductive. Instead, Marcus urges us to see ourselves as part of the grand cycle of life, not separate from it. Accepting this truth brings strength. Seneca, another Stoic heavyweight, summed it up perfectly when he said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." This is about being in the moment, embracing what comes your way, and understanding that nature's course is not yours to dictate but to navigate. He also stated, "He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe." When we align with our inner nature, our values, our rationality, we naturally align with the greater world around us. The challenge of living in harmony with nature. But let's get real for a second. This isn't easy. Society teaches us to dominate, to control, and to conquer. We're constantly bombarded with messages that tell us to go against the grain, to hustle, to fight, to never be satisfied. We're told that we can be anything, have anything, do anything, if only we work hard enough. But here's the Stoic truth. Some things are simply not in our control, and no amount of force or willpower can change that. Our biggest obstacle? Our own minds. We think we're in control, but we're not. We think we're separate from nature, but we're not. It's a hard pill to swallow, but it's necessary. The Stoics weren't about giving up. They were about realistic acceptance. They taught us to focus on what we can control, Our thoughts, our actions, and our responses. Everything else is part of the natural order, and it's not ours to command. So, what does it look like to live in harmony with nature in today's world? It's about embracing simplicity. It's about recognizing that you are just one small part of a much larger whole. It's about being humble enough to know your place and wise enough to accept it. It's about letting go of the need to have all the answers and finding peace in the fact that you never will. As Epictetus said, it is not things that disturb us, but our interpretation of their significance. Practical steps to living in harmony with nature. Now, let's make this practical. How do we apply this Stoic wisdom in our daily lives? 1. Practice self-reflection. Take time each day to examine your thoughts, actions, and motivations. Are you living according to your values or compromising to meet the expectations of others? Marcus Aurelius often wrote in his journal, reflecting on his own actions, weaknesses, and how he could better align himself with nature. 2. Focus on what you can control. This is the Stoic mantra. Your actions, your thoughts, your responses, these are within your power. Let go of trying to control others or external circumstances. Epictetus said, make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. 3. Embrace discomfort. Growth happens outside your comfort zone. Don't shy away from situations that challenge you to adapt and be resilient. Nature is constantly changing, and so should you. 4. Accept change as a constant. Only constant in life is change. The Stoics understood that fighting change is like trying to stop the tides. Impossible and a waste of energy. Instead, they learned to adapt and flow with it. 5. Live according to your nature. This doesn't mean living in the woods. It means understanding your own nature, your strengths, weaknesses, and values, and aligning your actions with them. You are not fighting against your nature, but embracing it. 6. Cultivate resilience. Not everything will go your way, and that's okay. Life will throw challenges at you, but you have the power to choose how you respond. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Power of embracing your place in the universe. Living in harmony with nature is not about passivity or complacency. It's about finding your place in the grander scheme and acting in accordance with it. It's about understanding that you are a small but significant part of a much larger picture. When you align with this truth, you stop fighting against life and start moving with it. Imagine the freedom that comes with this mindset. No more struggling against things you can't change. No more anxiety about the future or regrets about the past. It's a peaceful acceptance of the present moment and your place within it. That's the Stoic way. It's not about becoming detached or indifferent. It's about finding peace in the chaos and acting with purpose, regardless of the outcome. Final thoughts. Call to live in harmony. So men, are you ready to live in harmony with nature? To stop resisting and start embracing the flow of life? The Stoics taught us that true strength doesn't come from force. It comes from understanding and accepting the world as it is. It comes from living in accordance with your nature and recognizing your place in the broader universe. As Marcus Aurelius so wisely put it, nature does not make us feel anger, resentment, or despair. It is our judgments that do. Let's take this journey together. Reflect on your actions, focus on what you can control, and align yourself with the natural order. When you do, you'll find a peace that no amount of external success can bring. You'll find yourself living in harmony, not just with the world, but with yourself. And that, gentlemen, is the ultimate power.